2 roasted chips is an achievement in Bloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to complete an entire game of chimps using just 2 towers. We're doing this with the champion of the centuries and the darkness of princes. Don't ask me what all of that was about, even though you will do. I'm not too sure myself, okay? Now, hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves the larger surface area before the balloons decide to escape, because our engineer right now is not doing a lot of construction when it comes to the deconstruction of the balloons. So hopefully we'll be able to get that larger surface area. Okay, get you all down to nearly all of them down to red, and then hopefully the rest will be able to carry us the way through. There we go. Now our engineer can contribute towards the fight. And we kind of need to be engineering this spot so that all of our sentries have the best chance of seizing control of the bad on round 100. Though we will go fireball because I do want to shimmer as quickly as possible, but then also necromancer as well because of said purple balloons being a problem later on once we get Sentry Champions, though the engineer's nail gun itself does a decent amount of work against purple balloons, but with the undead we don't have to worry about that. Okay, come on. Would you do not... Wretched yellow balloons. Okay, with intense magic, we can actually fly faster with our magic. Okay, are the yellow balloons once again going to give us annoyances? No, thank goodness for that. Intense magic can keep up with those pesky hellions. When fast engineering is not enough, get yourself even more fast engineering. You could say it goes faster. Don't worry, we will be going away at these ore deposits. Not just yet, okay? We need to work our way there. Sprockets, there's no need to get deconstruction just yet, but sprockets are going to help us out. Did you know that in a game of balloons under default chimps circumstances, the first ever regrow balloon that appears in the game is a yellow balloon? Did you know that? Well, you do now. To think that in Frontier Legends there's no such thing as a yellow fish or a yellow balloon overworld. Ninja Kiwi are too afraid to put that kind of power in the game, and I do understand why. Players would rage over a yellow balloon to fight in the overworld, or a yellow balloon to try and catch. It has the perfect amount of speed and layers to overcome any kind of skilled player. And no, the golden fish doesn't count. Or the zebrafinch. Sorry, zebrafish. Zebrafinch. Naming birds now. So what if you don't have camo detection by default? Simple. You either have camo detection by default as being the tower. So let's say Ninja, Sai, Azili, Sorda, Silas. I can't think of any other ones at the moment, but I'm pretty sure there are 1 or 2 others. Then there's getting camera detection through an upgrade, or there's getting camera detection by an external means. So let's say level 8 Etienne. Was it level 7? No, I don't know now. I am contradicting myself here. Or let's say a radar scanner, or from the Ascended Shadow, something that is external to the tower but gives a camera detection, or with the Shimmer's case, or in this case Necromancer, you remove the camo status altogether. And Shimmer is one of the better decamo options because it doesn't have a weakness to purple balloons, so the actual decamo itself can decamo purple balloons, whereas like a ice shards or embrittlement cannot decamo white balloons, and the counter espionage does not decamo lead balloons, or counter SQ. I've forgotten the actual name of the upgrade itself from the tier 2 middle path upgrade of the ninja. Okay, I think we will start going after these now. They're long overdue, and I need to clear the space here so that we can actually use the full circle to our advantage on this map. Did you know that if you pursue the top cross pathing of the Necromancer and the Prince of Darkness, the undead balloons have a longer lifespan? But we're going with the middle cross pathing here simply because we need that early lead damage and also better single target damage. Because the Wall of Fire's power is scaled depending on how much graveyard you have left. So at the moment it's not going to do a lot of damage, but if it's at full capacity like 500, then it'll do the maximum amount of damage that it could possibly do. And then it gets even more powerful when you go to the Prince of Darkness and you go towards that 3000 mark. Now for 28k, this is still a really good 2TC tower. It's honestly an A tier or a B tier tower when it comes to 2TC towers overall, just simply because of what it can do. It really struggles at like 97 onwards because fortified ZMGs have a lot of HP to them, and the undead don't particularly do a huge amount of damage, but it is good enough to carry you through the majority of the game. Now we're going to clear these two. We don't really need to clear that one up there since we don't need the line of sight going from the inner circle to the outer circle. It's an excellent DDT counter. Can kind of struggle with the fortified DDTs if you don't have enough overlaps, but obviously on a map like this, no problem. But once you go up to super brittle with the top path Ice Monkey, then it can decamify white balloons. But in all honesty, I don't think you really need to take that into consideration because it just, like, it instantly kills ceramics in update 52. It's an absolute monster against ceramics. Update 51 as well, that was when the damage was stupefied for the super brittle. Honestly, I think it's a little bit overtuned, especially considering that you can do Flooded Valley quite easily on a game of chimps if you know what you're doing. For me, I don't know what I'm doing, so it's still hard for me. For your expert map chimps guides, I really do recommend Chom Chom and Doreo for that sort of thing. I'm not up there when it comes to the skill level to be able to do stuff like that in a chimp scenario. Perhaps one day, if I can just, you know, get good at the game, then perhaps I can, but I'm just not good. I need to get good. G-I-T-G-U-D. Get good. As of the time of this recording, the Pokemon Mega Dimension DLC has recently released, and there is one thing that I have discovered in the game that I despise, and that is the fact that with Charcadet's evolution, you can only get one of two of the items in which you can evolve it. So Armarouge, Cerulege, you can only get one of the two armors, and you can only get one of said armor in the entire playthrough. That's even dumber than on the base game. You have to rely on other people to be able to get your Slowking and the two fairy type Pokemon. The one that's like Perfuming, the other one is Creamy. I've forgotten their exact names. And also Steelix and Scizor. At least in the Mega Dimension DLC, you can actually get them in the wild now, which is pretty good. But for the fact that you cannot get a complete Pokedex without relying on other people, it's been over 20 years, Game Freak, and you're still relying on trading in order to get people to get the full Pokedex. It's complete bull. Surely after 20 years, you would have thought of something by now in which players can actually get every Pokemon in a single playthrough without relying on other people. I don't know. In Legends Arceus, you found a very good method, the linking cord, which was an excellent idea because I know you couldn't integrate the multiplayer aspect into Legends Arceus, but you had something in the game which progressed it. And that is sometimes a way of saying that the old ways are better. Linking cord is better than relying on other people, especially strangers, to get certain characters in your Pokedex field. I despise that, where you have to rely on others in order to get your Pokedex completed. You could say it's part of the Pokemon experience, but I play it solely for the single player aspect and I only hop on online occasionally so that I can actually get certain Mega Evolution stones, like with the Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut, and soon to be Baxcalibur. It's just, it's dumb. I honestly think it's really dumb. Honestly, didn't need to start hammering away at this, but I just need it taken away so that I can actually properly put down these sentry guns. But it's such a stupid decision, Game Freak. Like, maybe make a compromise so that once you do the quest, you can go to the construction site where those two fellas are, in which you can trade away shards or money, actually. I don't know which one it is, actually. I can't remember off the top of my head whether it's mega shards or the money in general, where after you do the quest, which involves Armarouge and Cerulege, then you can actually purchase the armor for yourself. Same with the Prism Scale for Feebas and Milotic. You have to trade with a Prism Scale equipped in order to get your Milotic. But then do you trust strangers, especially, in where they'll be able to trade back that Pokemon so that you have your Milotic now? I don't see the vision, Game Freak. I don't see the vision. And if you're not interested in the Pokemon, then obviously this conversation is not interesting to you, but I'm pretty sure there are some people out there to have trade only, not trade Pokemon, to need to be traded over because you can only access one of the two armor items. It's dumb. It's really dumb. I had a brief look through update 52.2 patch notes, and apparently there are some changes to the Frontier Legends where there's actually a change in the day and night cycle, so that there's actually an incentive to go into night where you have more balloons and more variety of balloons, including new ones such as blue balloons in the overworld, green balloons in the overworld, BFBs in the overworld, ZOMGs in the overworld, and there is one spot in the game where a bad spawns. Very, very, very consequential if you die from it, but the rewards are high, apparently. I hope so. I truly well hope so. And also, just speaking about like Pokemon in this game, it seems at the moment every time we have like a new update in the game, another thing comes out in Nation CA. Firstly, the release of it, and now the Mega Dimension DLC. At least 3 Fire Ghost Pokemon in the game now. We've got Chandelure, obviously, and we've got the Cerulege and Alolan Marowak. Pretty sure there's one other Fire Ghost as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember now. Not Hisuian Typhlosion. That's stuck back in the History region. Yeah, the Armarouge Cerulege thing is like a scenario that I felt back when Ninja Kiwi decides to limit the amount of Paragons in the game to 3, and then brought it back up to 4, and then removed the limit altogether. I think the change from 3 to 4 is so that each player could have a Paragon. That's essentially what it boils down to. But it was like, it's only something that just prohibits you. You can have the Paragon synergies, you can have the limited synergies, but you just don't have the limit in place. It's a why. You can still have the synergies. You can still have the unique synergies, like Super Brittle, or sorry, the Ice Paragon, that only gets the Energizer synergy if you place the Ice Monkey on water. I don't know, I just think there are certain things that developers decide to do that didn't have any thought process put behind it, that only limits the player's accessibility of being able to complete something because of an artificial lock behind the game. Something that says, no matter how skilled you are at the game, you have to rely on the fact that you may need multiple switches to get a thing that you want. It's dumb. I've mentioned multiple times, but it's really dumb. Okay, now round 98. Can we do 98? I'm pretty sure that we can do 98. We just need to focus down on the frontmost balloons here, but I feel like we are actually going to get to a point where we might have balloons which are starting to escape, but not the case. Not the case. The undead are doing their job, and that is bringing the living to the dead. Okay, round 99. DDTs, not a problem. Too many overlaps for us. Is this round dependent on where our cursor is? Maybe. I'll put you over here for the moment, actually. But I will put you back on near the exit. Like right about now. What about now? How about now? Now, that's all good. I think we should be good here. Okay, is this going to be its second time around the circle here? Perhaps. Okay, if this is its third time, yeah, this map is pretty good, not gonna lie. This should be easy to take down these last two ZMGs. Good, good, good. The undead will only get stronger, dear Padawan. That is the 2TC achievement done. What do you think about this run, ladies and gentlemen? Would you do this for yourself if you have half an hour? Sentry Champion, Pod, both have plasma damage type of a certain extent. Actually, it's fire, plasma. They both have the same weaknesses, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. And if I remember correctly, if you click that subscribe button, you may wake up and get like a red soda in your mailbox. By the way, I'm joking about that. But what you can do is, if you buy anything from the store, so let's say the Frontier Legends DLC, and you want to put in a creator support code, I think the best thing that you can do is choose a content creator in general, and then just click that submit button. They get a tiny slice of the pie. Obviously, I share myself first because I am me and not somebody else. Impersonation is a rather shit thing to do. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.